fast daily driver that I could pretty much take anywhere. The bumper back on, then I'll be ready to take it for a ride. It's gonna be kind of a sleeper, if you will. A little bit of snap, crackle, pop right there. The way that Stratified does it is not like, say, EQT, where they have stage 1 and stage 2. It's more about what type of mods you have, right? Where if you have like a downpipe or a front mount intercooler or anything like that, they take that into consideration, because when you try to get their tune, they ask you for a list of mods that you have, and then they create the tune for you. It's kind of personalized, even though it's an OTS tune. And like I said, I've had custom tunes in the past, like with my Evo. And you definitely get more power if you go to an actual tuner, because they tune it specifically for your vehicle, right? So I was pushing more on that car. It's just that you have to pay more, right? I think it was around $500 to get that tune. But obviously I got a dyno done with that too, so you get a little more perks when you go that route. It's just that you're gonna pay more. And I didn't feel like I need to do that for a daily driver. I felt like the Stratified OTS tune is good enough. If you guys are interested to find out how I got my DSG tune, you can click this link right here, and it's gonna show you how I went through that process and how it felt driving with the DSG tune and so on. I feel like for my needs, 26 pounds is more than enough for the MK7. It gave me the options to have the S-Tune traction control, which is a really great feature for the car. Extended Crackles, which of course is fun because you get to do it in sport mode or manual mode. And if you don't like it, then just go back to drive mode. Then you don't have to worry about the pops and bangs. The fact that they don't desensitize the knock capabilities or the knock sensors and stuff is a big thing for me, because I feel like once you start messing with those things and it's no longer sort of OEM parameters, that you're just putting a little bit more stress on the car. You might be pushing more than you should. I feel like it goes hand in hand, having the high torque DSG tune and the Stratified stage 2 tune, so it works hand in hand for me. Another important feature of the Stratified is the price. When I purchased this flash tune, it cost me $100 to get. I know the price went up now, but when I got the Stratified tune, it was $100. And then I added the S-Tune traction control. I believe it was like maybe $15, I'm not sure, around there. And then also the extended Crackles. All in all, it came out to $140 for the flash tune, and I believe that's a great deal, considering the features that I have for this car. Yeah, I think it might have gone up $20, but even if it's $160 to get everything done, that's still a deal. Because if you go with EQT, for instance, it's $175 just for the tune itself, not including options, and then Sneaky Tuned is $150 just for the tune as well. So everything else adds up. In the end, it's still going to end up costing more. For Stratified, you go to the website and just pick what you need. Right here under VW, I have a Stratified flash tune for MK7, so I click this link, and from here I just add my specs, for my car. Obviously 91 is what I have because there's no 93 in Cali, so that's the gas I'm using. Here the choices, which could be a bit confusing if you're not used to it. What type of DSG do you have, or manual? For mine is DSG with high torque with the upgraded tune, because I already have the Stratified tune, so I choose that. If you don't, then obviously you use stock tune or whatever else you guys have. For me, I have the high torque DSG with upgraded tune. And then I'm not using E30, so I'm not doing that. Brake boost, again, that's up to you. For performance, obviously you can add that, performance braking and so on. I just didn't need it, or at least I don't want it, so I said no thank you. Spark-based stratified traction control, yes, yes please. Crackle, but sport mode I will have the extended, so that's another 25 bucks right there. And then data logging, no refinement for me. And then of course just make sure you know what your platform is, GTI right here, right, which is what I have. And this is pretty much the specs that I chose. Okay, you guys will have your own specs, but for me this is what I'm gonna go with. And so once you're ready, you just add to the cart. And right here, it cost me $140 to do this, which is pretty reasonable compared to like other tuners, right? For instance, if you go with EQT or even Sneaky Tune, they're gonna cost more. Of course, there's different reasons for going with different tuners. Once you pay for your flash tune, you're gonna get an email like this, you know, where it tells you the specs that you have that you chose. You just got to fill this out right here. You know, obviously you put your name, right? Information, email, order number, which is on your email, and then your access port details, right? So you have to have an access port like I do, like right here, you know, my access port. Once you fill this out, you're going to go to another page where you need to write down all the you got to input all the modifications you have on your car, and then they can tailor make the flash tune for you. They're gonna take about 2 to 3 days or so before they come back and create your flash tune, right? But for me, surprisingly, they only took a day to do my flash tune. And then this is the email that I got. It says they give me like 2 files, the NEC with no crackles and LEC with the loud crackles, right? And then it says user manual, read before installing. Here, I'm already in here. Usually you have to put in the password stratified to get in or whatever. I'm already in here, and then I just read all this just to make sure that I'm, you know, I'm on top of everything, right? It tells you what you need to do before you flash, and if you're getting knocking, is it because you have, you know, low quality of fuel, all that stuff. So it just kind of tells you what to look for in case you get knocking when you're driving and stuff like that, right? Obviously. They also recommend that you do replace your spark plug, especially if it's gotten over 10K miles on it. So you want to replace your spark plugs as well. You know, so there's details here as to what to look for and so on. If I wanted to adjust the traction control, which is an option that I did get right here, so it shows you go to adjustments to change CCF map slot, and then from there you can adjust the traction. It always goes back to mode 1, but you can choose mode 2, which has the least slip, or all the way up to mode 8, which has the most slip. Means no control, because you know now there's no interference from the car, right? It's just all you if you want to go that route. But either way, it goes back to mode 1 every time you turn off the car, or and so on, right? And so it does give you all that information that you can read. Once you read all that information, then you can download your tunes right here. I have 2, right? 1 and 2, which is what they gave me, and then I just download those files, which is the NEC and the LEC files. I've already transferred the files here. You just drag them. Once you download them, you just drag them in here, and I already have both of them. Stratified MK7, you know, flash tune 1 and 2. Okay, those files. So now that I have it in my Cobb access port, I can go ahead and install it in the MK7 and get that stratified stage 2 going. So let's go ahead and do that. Ready to do flash tune right here. So I got everything plugged in, ready to go right here. Charging, speed charger. So we're gonna go tune right here. Boom. Okay, what are we looking for? ECU tune. right? Change ECU map. Okay, what do we have here? We got the stratified LEC or stratified NEC. Which one do we want? We'll go with the stratified LEC because this one's the one that has the crackles. Right, let's go with that. Boom. 20 amp battery is already plugged. So we're good to go. Okay, so everything is going, so boom. It's going crazy again, as you can see. Right, but that's normal. That's what you do every time you're doing a different tune. So don't trip when that happens. Wow, much faster because this is not the first time that I've done a flash tune in here, so much faster. Okay, it says turn ignition key off and then turn it on immediately. So okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. All right, off and on, and press OK. Change map successful. Turn off for at least 15 seconds and I'm good. Boom, just like that. So I just finished the flash tune via Cobb. Let's go ahead and see what we have. Show current map. We're gonna go ahead and take the car for a test drive and see how the stratified stage 2 feels. A little more sedate is, I think that's the word that I'm looking for. But it's still better than just regular OEM. So hopefully that makes sense. Most of the time I probably won't have it on drive anyways, right? I'll probably have it on sport mode. So I'm not really going to be bothered so much unless I'm just driving back into work and I don't want to think about crackles and burbles and stuff like that. Then I'm just going to keep it. Then I would do drive. There. Wide body. Well, let's try it out on sport mode and see if that makes a difference in terms of power or the delivery of the power. So that's why you saw the traction light, because this is like S-Tune, you know, with the stratified S-Tune. I also have their traction control, which is different than the stock traction control, right? And so it allows you to have more slippage, but it still, you know, gives you some control depending on where you have it, right? Right now it's on 1. If I have it all the way to 8, then it would have even less traction control, right? So to get that guy, but I guess he wanted to turn. Oh well. Obviously he's probably pretty quick, right? Because he's driving that Mustang. So let's go back into test driving it with the stratified tune. See, you notice that traction light showing up? Because it's kind of losing a little bit of traction when I do it. Let's try it out with manual mode now. Manual mode, right? So Definitely faster because it boosts higher, right? I don't really want to push too hard because it's a weekday and then there's cops outside too, so we'll just try it again. So let's try it again. Let's try again here. Feels good, feels smooth, you know, faster than my previous GTI, the MK6. Don't go yet, buddy. Okay, ready? That's what I like about it with the traction control, you know, because there's still some traction control, but it's just not overly intrusive depending on what it is you're looking for, right? And for me, it just makes it a little bit more fun, you know, not overly wild, or I mean, it's not, it doesn't remove the whole traction control. I mean, it's still there, but it's just that you have more fun because now, you know, it's less intrusive. And then the extended burbles, I feel like, ooh, it surprised me. I didn't think it was going to be that loud, but it is. Okay, so someone here trying to catch up. Snap, crackle, pop right there, you know what I mean? That's really what we're talking about with the snap crackles. But, yep, I could just do that all day. If I leave it on one gear longer, then you start hearing the crackles, right? Like right here, I'll keep it on like on a second gear. Like that, see? Okay, so another thing that I didn't mention about the tune, especially when you do a lot of crackles and extended crackles, is that you do end up wasting more gas. Okay, that's another thing. So just keep that in mind when you guys go wild with the crackles. Then you're gonna end up using up your gas more than you should. It's good that they give you two files because I might get tired of the crackles, right? Because I keep messing with it now, but I might get tired of it. The file that I have right now has the crackles in it when I go on sport mode or manual mode. Eventually I might get tired of it. And so I can go back to Cobb, get the other file and upload it on my MK7, and then I won't have the crackles whatsoever, even on sport mode or manual mode. I'm gonna put it back to sport mode, and I think sport mode is really good enough, even if it's like a good balance between going faster and just daily driving, and it still has the crackles in there. It just won't be as pronounced, you know. If you go stratified tune, you can't go wrong, especially if you have it next to your DSG tune, because now you get the high torque DSG and you get the ECU tune together. Someone else will probably choose a different type of spec or option, but that's what works for me. So it's not about stage 1 or stage 2 or anything like that with Stratified, you know. They ask you what type of mods you added. You know, for me it's like my downpipe, front mount intercooler, bicooler setup, inlet pipe, all those things added, and then they create the tune for you. I feel like it's more personal. You know, it's not like, oh, do you want stage 1 or stage 2? It's about, okay, here's my mod list. What type of tune will you give me? Yeah, I know it's OTS and it's not a personal tune, and I know how that is. You know, that's because with the Evo, for instance, I had a personal tune with that. You know, like a real tuner. But it, you know, it's more costly, and yes, you get more power out of the mods that you have, but it's not really necessary for a daily driver like this. Yeah, if you want to just get something that is pretty good, but it's also cost effective, then just get this Stratified tune. So anyway, hopefully you guys got something out of that little review and test drive. And I'm gonna go head up to Mickey D's right here and get me a double Big Mac. Having over 300 plus wheel horsepower, I think is more than enough for a daily driver. So 26 pounds, that's what a Stratified is claiming to max out for the tune, the flash tune, is more than adequate for me. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying is that I may get EQT or sneaky tuned in the future, but for my needs at this point, I feel like the Stratified stage 2 is more than enough for me. If I feel like I need to push it more, then I'll do EQT, or maybe I'll do a bigger turbo and stuff like that, right? But I'll put an IS38 in it. Overall, I feel like it's a reputable company, it's a good deal, and I'm getting my traction control tuned, and the extended burbles, it's personalized enough. And so put that all together, plus the safety of not messing with the knock sensor and stuff like that, that's pretty much the reason why I went with Stratified stage 2. So let's do a little bit of snap, crackle, pop if we can in here. Let's see, but we'll do more pops and bangs in the future. Till then, drive safe and keep on rolling.